What's one thing we could brainstorm for you such that make everything else easier and or unnecessary?
No, I think I still have the same thing as the last 2 weeks. My sales process still stinks. I did watch the cafe videos. I think my estimates are further between, so I think I forget what I've watched between the estimates, and then I don't end up doing it. But
Mm,
yeah, I'm just thinking about adjusting prices, adjusting my sales process because it's just been getting killed on price a lot lately.
okay, so coaching opportunity here. If you recall, and I believe I went over this in sales, but there's a lot there to remember. If we lose on price, what that means is if we take the above the line approach, if we take full ownership, even if it's not our fault, but we take full ownership anyway. When we take full ownership, even if it's not our fault, now we have the power to do something about it, right? So that's the principle of above the line. When we hear or we believe that we lose to price, the ownership perspective is I did not communicate enough value. I did not communicate our value. Instead, I competed on price. So we have an option. We can compete on price, be a commodity, or we can compete on value and make a profit. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
yeah, definitely. I
Okay.
like the approach.
I'm sorry.
No, I like the ownership concept.
So
I do.
every time you hear or you believe that you lost on price, check yourself. Just say, whoa, wait a minute. Okay. I did not communicate enough value. And now with the other principle is how can I? We never drop C bombs, right? Like I can't get to Mars. Elon's proven that wrong. He's going to figure it out, right? How can I? So instead, it's okay. I don't know how to communicate more value. How can I communicate more value? Because when we ask how, it gets our brain working, our subconscious working. But if we ever drop a C bomb and say I can't, our subconscious stops working. It says, "Oh, all right, I'm not going to work on that problem for you. How can we?"
Yeah, it's a good way to look at it. I'm trying to figure out differentiators and how to
Mhm.
communicate value because I think it's just been hard for me not having a painting background to have strong differentiators from other folks.
Your background is in tech, correct?
Yeah,
Okay. Did you have any customer experience?
yeah, oh yeah,
Okay. It's just customer service. It's just, that's all it is. They just want to know that you're going to provide the best experience. They just want to know they can trust you and that you're going to provide the best experience. The technical side of painting is not much. The other side of it is they need to feel confident in you. And part of that is to make sure that you show up with confidence, genuine confidence, not faked or puffed up but we can't be insecure and we can't have fake confidence. So you need to have real confidence showing up knowing that your team provides the best experience. Another component that's going to help you is do you believe that there are companies out there, contractors out there who don't do what they say they're going to do? Are there shady contractors out there?
oh for sure.
There are. So if that's true and you care about your customers, don't you have a moral obligation to help them to see that you are the best value to protect them from those other guys?
Yeah,
Okay, that puts this in a whole new light, right? So when you show up, it's not about, I hope I get the job so I can make a sale. But now it goes to a whole nother level that you have a moral obligation to help them to see that you are the best value to protect them from shady contractors.
yeah, I like that perspective. I'm
Thank you.
right.
Other thoughts, guys? Oh, I'm sorry. You said go ahead.
I'm just writing notes if you hear me clacking away.
Okay. Okay.
I just
Yeah.
want to chime in a little bit.
Please.
I can on this one, based on my experience from the last salt. I think most important is to knowing your numbers, so that way you can present with confidence. On my experience with this project that I sold, I didn't know the person, they didn't know me. They only were based on the reviews, but I was able to provide a ballpark price based on their needs, like we're gonna be painting walls, ceilings, that's it, no trim. And but I always make it clear that when I show up there to see what exactly the condition of the place is, if we need to repair holes or do something else. I think that gives confidence to the customer because she get back to me after my follow-ups and she says we have another price lower than you, but we rather go with you. So that's when I set up that in-person estimate. And when I show up to the estimate, I was able to close. I give her like $100 help on the pricing because her budget, she's renting and another rental and their budget is very low. So I was like, okay, I can help you with that. I just came with that because I feel good that she trusts me and I'm gonna be closing the job on the spot, so $100 won't kill me. But yeah, I think it's all confidence, knowing your numbers, and that'll give you the confidence to present, and the customer will perceive that.
Awesome. Thank you, Alex. Very important to know your numbers. Yeah, come back to confidence. Go ahead, Ryan.
I was just thinking, like, on price, how do you know when your price is just too high? And I guess that's subjective. But like, where's the line of, hey, they're getting 3 or 4 estimates, 10, everybody else is 5 to 7.5, but I don't know what I'm
Yeah.
exactly trying to ask, but when it's okay, if you do provide the best quality, best experience, and XYZ, so you're totally able to and worthy of charging that much. But I guess I don't know my question.
That's good. Okay. No, this is good. I'll jump in. So how do you know when you're charging too much? So the market will tell you. It has nothing to do with your competitors. Most of your competitors don't know their numbers, so don't go by theirs. Okay. Your market will tell you, and they'll tell you by how far your calendar is booked out. So if you're booked out 6+ weeks, you might not be charging enough. Even if you're at the top, it doesn't matter. The market decides your value, right? According to the value you provide. They tell you what your value is worth, right? Now, a part of that is I know my worth, but they'll also say they either agree with you or they don't. Okay. So if you're booked out 2 months and you're still the most expensive, you're not charging enough. It has nothing to do with your competitors, again, because most of them don't know their numbers. Most of them don't know their numbers, and they're competing on price. And when they compete on price, what do? It's a downward spiral, and then it's just them in a 30-year-old van for 30 years grinding it out and wondering why they never made any money because they were constantly competing on price. Now, your price might be too high if we have a decent lead flow, but we're only booked out a week, then it's okay. Maybe I need to bring this in a little bit. All right. Now, ideally, you want to use my hourly sell rate calculator to make sure that you're within your range, which depends on, right, your overhead, your expenses, how many employees you have, average hours a week, and puts all that math together for you to say, okay, I need to be within this range. So that way you have your ballpark for you and your company, but essentially your calendar decides when you're too high or when you're not charging enough.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Hey, so was this all helpful? Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I have to agree with Steve on both the points for both Asa and Ryan. Ryan, as far as that goes, I do cabins. We're extremely high priced. Our bids are between $30,000 and $70,000 to refinish cabins. And I had one where I went bid the other day. It was $42,000, and the other guy was $8,000. The materials were $6,000 for the cabin, and I was the one who sold that job. So I just want you to know that I was almost $34,000 over the lowest guy or the next guy down, and still sold the price. It did take me 2 months of negotiations, but I showed him why I was the one he should choose to go with, and why our product would be superior to the other. So as far as charging too much, I asked myself, am I laughing at my customer? That's how I know I'm charging too much. Do I laugh about what I'm charging them and I'm robbing them? That's when we're charging too much. That would be my point. And to Ace, as far as the values and stuff go, I would say you got to look at it from the customer's point of view. When they call a paint company, they're calling a paint company. They're not calling because, oh, this paint company's this or this is this. They just call a paint company, and what they're looking for is someone who's going to be higher value. When they look in the phone book, it's like us opening the phone book to call a tile guy. And they're all tile guys. The only thing that's going to separate them is who they are. First off, you have to present yourself, because in order for someone to trust you, you have to show them you, not just your company, not just what everyone else is going to do. The skills of your painting, truly, I don't believe matter when it comes to making a sale. It is all the customer experience. What are you going to offer them? What are they going to receive? How are they going to be happy with their product? Do they get a warranty? All these things are what's going to differentiate that. Whether you guys can cut the finest line in the world or not, I've come to find out really doesn't matter. I can sell it either way, whether I'm doing the job or I have other guys doing the job. So really focus on who you are. Show them who you are. What do you do? What are the achievements that you've had in your community, your life, things of that nature that you can show them separates you from the other guys. I mentioned on a few podcasts ago that there's a actual podcast further back for the DYB system that talks about the skateboarding dentist. So I highly recommend, if you have not listened to that podcast, you guys go listen to the skateboarding dentist. So I just wanted to share those things.
That's an awesome example, man. That's an inspiration for sure.
Awesome.
Selling the job at that
But
price.
you got to do it right. And if you're doing a very dishonest service, if you're not providing the correct price, that's how I look at it. And these guys that are saying $8,000, they're going to either tack on a whole bunch of money at the end, and that's going to be a horrible customer experience, or they're going to do it completely wrong, and I'll be there fixing it, and they're going to have to pay $60,000 to $70,000. So you got to charge them right. You got to do it right. I've done the cabins at $12,000, and I lost hardcore. So it's really important that you know your numbers. And a lot of times your numbers are a lot higher than anybody else's because, again, they do not know their numbers. They're guessing, and they're going to lose. So do not follow other people's numbers. That's my advice.
Winter chicken dinner. Now, Alex, I don't know if you noticed, but you should have seen Asa's jaw drop and his smile go from ear to ear when he heard you open into that story. That was, I think you provided a ton of hope from that example. So thank you. That was awesome.
No
Yeah,
problem.
we got no more excuses about losing over $1,500 now.
No, not at all.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Way to be, Alex. Thank you.